2011 National Player of the Year and 2017 International MVP for the Chinese Basketball Association. We learned that there are a lot of different barriers you face when it comes to keeping contact with the outside world, specifically no Twitter and Facebook allowed in China. So how do you keep contact with BYU Sports and your friends and things like that when you're not allowed to access those type of social media platforms?
Yeah, that's the biggest challenge. I needed to try to listen to you guys, and I wasn't able to all the time.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
But I was trying. I'll tell you one thing. They have things called VPN over there. So basically, it's like a router that you can kind of circumnavigate the Chinese internet and use American internet or whatever internet that you want to use.
We won't tell China this happened either.
Say it again?
We won't tell China this happened either.
Oh, yeah, you don't tell anybody. I had a whole setup in my place. I got ESPN and everything, and so I had a good setup. But I had this router. So when I was in my apartment, I was able to kind of get I get on Twitter and on Instagram and everything, and kind of keep up with everybody. That's kind of how you circumnavigate it. But Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. Good thing this isn't on TV already. We're cool, man. We're cool. Hey,
I'm just kidding.
when Wesley was born, I believe Whitney was induced at 37 weeks, and you were in the middle of the playoffs. Yep. Can you describe to us how the timing worked out for you to fly back and be there for the birth of your child and then go back to China?
Yeah, it actually worked out perfectly, better than we had expected. Obviously her due date was until March 12th, and she ended up being induced on February 23rd, which ended up working out really well because my last game of the season was February 19th. So after the last game of the season, I was able to fly back and be here with her for the first couple of days, and then bring her to the hospital and everything. But I had to leave on the 24th at 5 p.m. to go back to China because I had a game on the 26th in China, a playoff game, or a second playoff game. I missed the first one. So, she got induced on the morning of the 23rd, and she ended up having the baby at 1:46 p.m. on the 24th. So I was able to see the birth and then hang out with Wesley and Whitney for about 3 hours, and then I hopped on a plane and went to China. Got in China on the 26th morning and played a game that night, and a playoff game that night. So it was a crazy experience. I mean, I was exhausted. I didn't sleep for probably 3 days straight, but it worked out well. We were able to win that game and move forward and keep playing in the playoffs and do well. And I was able to see the birth, so it ended up working out perfectly. But it was one of the crazy experiences I've ever had.
That's amazing.
I'm having serious anxiety for you right now thinking about that, Jimmer.
That's an amazing story.
It was crazy. We didn't think that she was going to have the baby before I left, and then I think we were blessed to be able to have that opportunity, and I was able to see it. And then I don't know if anybody's ever made it to China in the morning from a U.S. trip and then play that
night. Breaking some barriers.
You thought going to UNLV was hard. Something, you know what I mean? Like, come on, going to China.
Exactly.
What's next for you? Do you want to play in China again next year? Do you still want to try and take a crack at the NBA?
It's all about finding the right opportunity for me. I have a great opportunity in China for sure. I know I could go back, and I think the opportunity to make money over there is great, and obviously the fans are awesome. I enjoyed playing over there. The city is great. I feel comfortable playing over there if I were to go back over. But if there's an NBA situation that comes about that looks like it's going to be really promising, and I'm going to be able to get the type of playing time that I want and be in a good situation, then obviously that would be an awesome situation as well. So, I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm still trying to weigh my options. Obviously, it's very early in summer, so we'll continue to talk with different teams and see what else is out there.
What kind of timeline are you on in terms of making that decision, Jimmer?
No real timeline. We have all summer. I think we're going to try to negotiate as much as we can with both sides and figure out the best deal. And whenever we feel like we have the deal that we want in either place, then we'll pull the trigger. So it's not necessarily a timeline. Obviously, free agency in the NBA, you can't sign with a team until July, but you can have talks with teams and figure things out if you wanted to beforehand. So we'll see what happens, but no real timeline.